Hey guys, what's up? Inksmith back again, and today we're dealing with some pretty serious allegations, and I have to call them allegations to be legally correct in doing so, but these are looking pretty damning against Adam Dahlberg, also known as Net Nobody, or most likely you know him as Skydoesminecraft. Now, what he is accused of here is pretty severe, and if all of this is true, which some of this seems pretty convincing, I gotta say, it turns out he's a pretty dark personality, and maybe someone that shouldn't be making Minecraft videos for little kids to watch. This is kind of scary how much he's hid from his viewers. One thing I always tell people when you are watching a YouTuber is you really only see anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes of their personality. Who they really are is usually hid from you. Even with me, that is true. I feel like in this case, though, what's been hid is kind of like the darkest side of his character as a human. And we're going to go into it today and talk about this document that his ex-wife released recently, and it was all converted and made to be able to be easily read by Truth Sleuth, because this is something she wants spread around the internet to kind of let people know what she suffered through, and to pay respects to that and, you know, give support to someone who's had to be very brave to use her voice. I'm going to go ahead and read this today. And I am going to give a trigger warning first, though, letting you know that this deals with some pretty heavy topics. We're talking assault, abuse, blood, trauma, and pregnancy. So if any of those things upset you, I understand. You know, take a step out of this video, maybe come back when I'm doing something a little more lighthearted or upbeat, and I'll see you next time. But for those of you who are sticking around, we're going to get into it right now. You're going to have to give me a little bit of leeway here. The actual document is very tiny, like as in the words are so tiny. I had to blow it up to 125%, but unfortunately it now runs off the page and I have to pull it along as I read, so I may be stopping and starting as I go. It goes, Dear Adam Dahlberg, aka Net Nobody, aka Skydoesminecraft. We'll call him Sky from now on. I am going to do my best to be the voice you have taken from so many. You hurt, you abuse, you manipulate, and you lie. You are a sick man. I spent months and months loving you with my entire being. I spent thousands of dollars to come live with you. You made promises you didn't want to keep, but promises you made to manipulate my life so you could be in control. You use your fame, your name, and your platform to hide the disgusting and disgraceful things that you so claim not to do. You are not only verbally abusive, but you degraded me, the mother of your second child. You traumatized me and put me through things no one should have to ever experience. You hurt me for too long, and I'm tired of feeling afraid of you and what speaking up may bring. I had to tell people so no one would ever have to feel this experience. You weren't just abusive, because whenever I said you were, you would harass me and say horrible, horrible things. You were so unkind. I do not wish for anybody to have mental health struggles, nor do I wish for somebody, even you, to have severe struggles. I wanted nothing but love from you and to help you heal. You informed me you were only bipolar and possibly on the spectrum, which was never a problem to me. That was not the case. What you hid from me is the dangerous human you were capable of being. The person you are overall. 95% of our relationship you hid from me. You refused to want people to know my name or know about me at all. You avoided it at all costs, saying it was to, quote-unquote, protect the relationship. You refused to even let me talk about the baby publicly, as if it was irrelevant, and you didn't care. I wasn't ready for a baby. I spoke of always wanting one, But I continuously told you I wasn't ready, nor was I financially in a place to have a kid. You squeezed my body and were near begging me to let you get me pregnant, saying stuff like, please, please, I want another kid. I have the money. I want another kid because Alessa, which, if you don't already know, that's his first ex-wife, keeps me from being the father I dream of, and much more. When I started to get uncomfortable and I tried to stop the intimate moment, you pressured me into letting it happen. You didn't stop until I was forced to say, fine, well, clearly uncomfortable. I cried myself to sleep when I told you I was actually pregnant. You had the oh cool face and a smirk, as if you got what you wanted all along. At the time, I was just oblivious. I thought it was just overthinking everything. I continued to pretend everything was fine. Ooh, this is already getting pretty rough. Throughout our relationship, you were always on your phone, always hiding messages, having separate texting apps, and deleting conversations. You tried to pressure me into letting you be poly with your friend, and degraded me when I told you it's not my thing, and I'm not comfortable with that. Yeah, yeah. That's if the person says they're not comfortable with it, I'm not sure why you're pushing that. That's really not cool. All right, give me a second here. I'm lost again. You tried to pressure me into letting you be poly with your friend. You like feeling better than everyone else, and you want to do whatever you say. You not only cheated on me, oh man. That was the main thing he screamed about his first wife doing, was cheating on him. And now he's just done the same thing? You did several times before I even moved in with you. I found all the conversations, all the emails. Everything that I showed, I was just a trophy to you, just an object on the shelf. You made me propose to you. I kept telling you it was too soon. I kept saying I wasn't ready. You would reply with, you're pregnant, aren't you? Or no, it says here, you're literally pregnant, aren't you? As if you didn't care how I told you I wasn't ready for that either. You continuously pushed it. I kept saying I'm not ready. You even tried convincing me to let you buy my unborn baby. Are you kidding me? What? Holy crap. You said word for word, if you don't want her, I'll just give you like $100,000 or something. You act like your kids are just objects. Oh God, that's disgusting. You haven't had that kind of money in years. You kept pushing and even made me order rings and made me sit down and engage myself to you. Wow, really? You forced the woman to propose to you? Bro, what? I mean, if a woman does that, if she takes the initiative and does that, that's fine. I can see that working. But a man forcing the woman to do that, that's, I don't know. I come from like an older time period. For me, that's just wrong, dude. I don't know how you guys objectively feel about that, but for me, that's just kind of wrong. I was heartbroken, and my dreams of marriage were beyond crushed. You made the announcement on Twitter that you said yes. You didn't mention how it was forced. Why didn't I leave? Why didn't I run as fast as I could? Because I was scared. You treated me and everybody as peasants and would use your popularity against us. You stole money from companies just to buy drugs and never do the work. What? I had to pull thousands of dollars I needed for food and bills out of my ass just to pay back those individuals and pay the bills for what was left. Are you kidding me? So this dude's whole life is like a scam? I mean, if what this girl is saying is true, I should say woman, I'm not trying to dismiss her. If what his ex is saying is true, I mean, this looks super scummy, dude. I am really disappointed. I used to watch this guy, and I can't believe this is the kind of person he was hiding from us. Being this kind of person, I mean, oh my God, dude. All right, give me a second here. I lost my place again because this thing is so freaking tiny. They were so kind about it. I was so scared. I wanted so badly to slip them a note saying, I'm afraid. I felt so numb. I wanted to die. I was ready to take myself to the hospital just so I could sleep in a clean bed and have safe people around me. I was giving the baby every ounce of energy I could when I barely had any. Sleep deprivation is so dangerous, and you didn't care. Even at your stable moments, I would beg and cry just to be left alone. I was so tired. I just wanted you better, but I was falling apart. I knew for a while I wanted to leave. I just never knew how. I would try to talk to you about your actions calmly, and I would give ultimatums, and you'd treat me horribly. I kept in touch with some friends close by and also friends in other states, so some people were in the loop, and I had people to talk to. I constantly feel numb and tell myself I deserve it all for not walking away sooner. Nah, she shouldn't blame herself. That's way harder to get out of. I've actually been in kind of a relationship like this before. I mean, lucky for me, I didn't have a kid involved, but I did have a somewhat abusive relationship like this where I felt like I could not leave the girl. And yeah, it's not something where you can just pick up and leave. You always wonder, like, how much am I going to be able to leave with? Am I going to be able to leave with all my stuff, with my mind intact, with my sanity? Like, it's more than just, oh, just take a car and leave. Why don't you just get out of there? It's not so easy. Let's see here. I constantly feel numb and tell myself I deserve it for not walking away sooner. I blame myself when I shouldn't. You would constantly bitch at me for doing things you asked me to do. You love eggs with cheese and you love pasta, so one night I was excited. I made you eggs with some delicious pasta. I handed it to you and you threw it on the table saying, why the fuck would you make that? I replied to you, you love that food, and you said, it doesn't go together, so thanks, now I just won't eat it, and proceeded to throw a tiny tantrum. Oh man, what the hell, dude? Hey, if there's one thing, guys, hey, if any guys are listening right now, if there's one thing you need to respect, if you have a woman who cooks for you, even if you don't like every damn dish she makes, you need to respect the fact that she just worked a job, got home, started cooking, made you dinner, and now you're going to sit down and eat after she just worked another second job after finishing her main job. You need to respect that food. Your belly is getting filled because she did a little extra work after work to please you. Yeah, it might not be a two-order restaurant every night for you. Yeah, surprise, this is real life, okay? Oh man, I hate when I hear that, when I hear like guys disrespect their wife or girlfriend after they make them food. Be like, it's not perfect enough. Come on, man. I went and sat in the shower and cried for what felt like hours. You would say, I pay for everything, when I never would ask you to. I kept offering to help. You wanted to own me and kept making fake promises. You just wanted to be in control of my life. You would have me get ready for date nights, bitch about being too tired, then you'd invite your friends over. Ugh, yuck, bro. Come on, dude. You never make a date night you're not going to follow through with. Oh my God, dude. This guy is like literally doing all the by the book things wrong as a boyfriend and or husband. Like, just sounds like very immature. Let's see. What do we got? I was constantly asking you to spend time with me. I would get so stoked to go baby shopping, and you wanted nothing to do with it. You were so careless, yet stayed preaching to your fans about how great of a father you are and how excited you were. You even made me do all the birthday and Christmas shopping for your son? Well, you couldn't be bothered to do that? Come on, man. Yo, I'm... As, like, just a fellow hetero man, I'm disappointed, bro. This is not the way you treat a woman, man. Holy hell, what the crap. Just for you to take all the credit for it. Yuck. Okay. You bitched at me for not being able to move a washing machine that weighed 200 to 300 pounds. Why would you make your wife move a washing machine? I don't even let my wife take the trash down. Like, if my wife buys stuff at the store and I think her bag's too heavy, I take it right away. Bro, that's our job. Like, we don't have to be old school conservative, but we need to look out for things that are like harder for the wife to do, man. Come on, man. Like, this is it's a compromise. It's not a she does it all situation. It weighed 200, 300 pounds. Are you kidding? You trying to like kill her? I was pregnant while she was pregnant, bro. Oh man, I'm getting angry. I gotta calm down. Okay, gotta calm down. Gotta get through this. Oh, why she was pregnant? When my wife was pregnant, I did almost everything. I couldn't imagine letting her get up to move a washing machine. Are you kidding me? I thought I broke our new washing machine. I asked you for help, and you threw a tantrum. Started calling me stupid, saying I can't do anything right. It was never broken. It just needed a reset. I felt numb and sat on the floor. Oh, crud. It just popped into another position here, so I lost my place again. I felt numb and sat on the floor. I wanted to end my life because all you made me feel was, you're not enough. You can't do anything right. I was never allowed to stand up for myself. If I had an anxiety attack, you would call me a baby and degrade me. Oh, lovely, man. Great. Really good support. You would get emotional, but when you would get emotional, you'd expect everyone to bow down at your feet and feed you love and support on a gold platter. Even when mentally stable, you knew how to help yourself. You knew abusing drugs could make you go into a permanent psychosis. You abused... God dang it, this thing is so hard to read. You abused drugs. You pressured our friends into doing drugs and would degrade them if they didn't want to. So many people spent so much money and time helping you when you needed help, yet you treated everyone so poorly when you didn't get what you want. I would ask you not to smoke near me or in the house to keep the baby safe. Yeah, I don't think that's too much to ask. And you'd bitch at me saying it's your house. I should have left. You made me take care of your child. Alessa, your mom, and I did everything. I admire the amount of amazing things that Alessa did. She works her ass off to give her son a beautiful life, and she does a fantastic job at doing so. You made the internet hate her, yet you hid that you were the main problem. You abused your platform to try and ruin Alessa's life, yet you chose to leave out the things you caused. You would make me or your mother bring your child back and forth from visits. You'd sit in our room and make us feed/play with your child. Are you kidding me? What kind of dude are you, man? This is... I spent more time with the sweet boy in 3 months than you did in a year. So she ended up spending more time with his first child from his first marriage. You only post father pics when convenient for you, just to make people think you're involved. You spread disgusting lies behind Alessa's back. Alessa's his first ex-wife, if you've already forgotten. You sit on your phone and go smoke and bitch at everyone else to take care of your son. Okay, this is the second page. Sorry, guys. I actually had to take a break. I was getting so frustrated with this. If all of this is true, I'm more than disappointed. I know sometimes people say I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. In this case, I went way past disappointed, past mad, went across the loop again, and now I'm in utter rage over how this dude is treating this woman. This is horrible. This is not an adult thing to do at all, to treat a woman like this. Especially pregnant, man. All right, next part here. You also have assaulted and sexually harassed several women, even paid them off with hundreds of thousands of dollars just to protect your perfect little image. You paid a girl to keep quiet years ago because you almost got her pregnant and you didn't care. You sent nudes to young girls. You never asked for ages because you never cared. If they walked, you talked. That's not the first time you have done things. You'd be surprised what I've seen and found. You are extremely unfaithful. As soon as I left you, you effed my best friend, who I considered to be like a sister. Over the years, you failed to acknowledge how you'd pay young girls money for their time and attention. cheating is a gross thing. Alessa loved you, and wait, and you would, oh, sorry, there's like a weird page break here. And you would cheat, manipulate, and lie when she's defended herself. You would constantly spread rumors of Post Malone saying awful things about his character, which is odd because last I checked, he was checking in on you and extremely kind, was trying to help you out even. From abusing drugs, you would act possessed and do a bunch of spiritual talk. I thought you were just deep into spirituality, but that was the drugs, because your psychiatrist a few years ago told you that even weed is dangerous and can put you into a psychosis. Alessa tried so much to help you. All your girlfriends did, and you didn't care. Yeah, she actually is right about that. I have heard before that psychologists will often recommend that those with bipolar or schizophrenia will shouldn't do weed because it can actually severely affect those psychiatric aspects or conflict with medicine that they might be taking. So if all this is true, I think he has come out as bipolar before. I believe that's totally right. Anybody below, if you've heard something different, please tell me. But you tried cheating on me with a effing AI Twitter account. You would tell me how she was the only one that understands you. Wait, what? He was like tricked by a bot account and she found him like talking nasty to a bot account? Is that what she's saying? Because if so, that's sad, pathetic, and just gross. What the hell? You would wake people up in the middle of the night to talk about this AI. Come February, you started acting weird. You stopped sleeping normally, stopped eating normally, got more and more mean, got more angry, and verbally abusive at random times over the smallest things. It started getting scary, and movies don't describe well enough how bad it can get. You started breaking shit, throwing things, this thing keeps shrinking down to like an incredibly tiny size, and I lose my place. You started pulling stuff off the walls and screaming at ants? What? Screaming at like the bug, an ant? You started calling Albert Elon Musk. What? So one of his friends is Albert, and he just started calling him Elon Musk, forcing him to drink Gatorade and eat candy. What? You lock Albert in the kennel and scream at him. Who's Albert? I hope if this is your son, bro, then you need to be in jail. Like, if Albert is your son and not like you need to be in jail if you're locking people into kennels that are. What am I reading right now? What the? You locked Albert in the kennel and screamed at him. It was freezing cold outside, yet you let him outside. He got lost and nearly froze to death. He was shivering. You did that several times. You jump in and out of windows. You scattered food over the counter and floors. That's when some people reached back out to me and told me the truth. Thankfully, Alessa reached out to me, too, and I broke down. She was so kind, and she helped me tremendously. Hey, good on Alessa here for reaching out to his second wife and lend a helping hand. I mean, I think that really speaks to how much we were fooled about things with him and Alessa. It appears like she was the only good person in his life. I mean, between the two of them, I'm saying, the other people might be totally fine, but I'm just saying, like, he made her out to be a horrible person, screaming about, give me my son back, I just want to see my son. I remember him going on Keemstar and doing this. And all this time, he's been abusing everybody else in his life to the point that the first wife has to reach out to the second wife and offer an olive branch and a helping hand. I mean, how bad does it have to get for that kind of conversation and to come up? That's, oh my God. She explained everything I needed to know. Apparently you acted like I was well informed of your whole life, except you constantly lied. People who've experienced this side of you tried to get you help, even when sober and mentally stable. Like stable, you treated people, even when stable, you treated people like shit. You started forcing me into sleep deprivation. That is the worst. That is the absolute worst. That's the same thing I'm talking about that I dealt with as far as abuse is concerned. I had an ex a long time ago who would force sleep deprivation on me, and it's not a fun thing to deal with. It can really start to drive you up the wall. Then you start to act crazy because they're driving you crazy, and then they'll blame it on you and make you think like you're totally going nuts. Craziness makes you crazy. That's the best I can say. Okay, you started clogging the drains knowing how deep into the pregnancy I was and how bad I'd needed access to the restroom. I had to waddle to the store late at night just to use the restroom? Tears on my face, my hair a mess because you wouldn't let me shower? What? Yo, this dude needs to be locked up. This is torture. This is beyond like just abuse. This is getting into like literal torture. You'd constantly tell me how I'm going to be a bad mother because I couldn't do something fast enough to your standards. You would scream at me to leave, and when I tried, would grab me speaking nonsense. I tried so desperately to bring you back to baseline. I tried so hard. I feel like a failure, but I fucking tried. You ran me into a door twice because I wouldn't run. I had nowhere to go. And I still tried so hard to love you and make you be okay. Holy hell, man. You refused to acknowledge any of this. Whenever proof was shown, you were so ugly to me. You'd have stable moments and still would not care what you were doing. You would harass people on Discord, spam people in the middle of the night. You'd speak in tongue and blast music. You'd leave doors open while it's a blizzard. You dragged my dog by its throat and threw him into the kennel, then surrounded him by mirrors. Yo, what the what it like I almost feel like I'm reading like a horror movie at this point. This is like a splatterpunk novel. All because he was nervous. He just never liked you deep down. You tried getting in my face. Yeah, that's because like animals have an innate sense of when someone is twisted. Like animals just know. Like if you ever have an animal, you come over to someone's house and their animal like won't be kind and attentive to them and always look for attention from them. Sometimes there's something weird going on. I mean, sometimes you're dealing with an animal that was in the past abused, but like I always kind of notice this thing, except for cats. Cats are sometimes just like whatever, we hate people. Oh man. This is You wouldn't let me sleep. Our friends tried so desperately to bring you back to baseline. I did everything I could. I sang you to sleep, and I hate the sound of my voice. I made you meals just for you to throw them on the floor. You'd be saying vulgar things to me, and I'd still hug you and say how much I love you and want you to get better. You kept talking about Ant Venom. Ant Venom's another Minecraft YouTuber, if you didn't know. He was actually part of Team Crafted, I think was the name of their team when they were all together. Oh man, this is getting so bad. Saying how much you hated him. Yet when you were screaming nonsense to him on a Discord call, I had to snag the phone. He was so humble and so kind. Such a lovely individual. Sucks I had to meet him that way. I did my best to keep what was happening low-key. I kept spamming Alessa to see your son, and I made sure she was in the loop because he would not be safe in that home. You have a history you hide of putting your son at risk when you get upset. Dude, that is messed up. What the I'm literally on the edge of bursting with anger reading this. I gotta just focus on reading this. You ended up randomly punching the big amethyst you have from being frustrated and cutting a gash into your knuckle. You came up to me and I continuously tried to clean it and bandage it while our friends tried to keep you calm. You came up to me with the bandages off and started putting blood on my face and on my arms. I was horrified. You started painting on the walls with your blood. Jesus, dude. You not only do you need to be in prison, you need to be in like psychiatric prison, like, there's like psychiatric hospitals for prisoners, and this sounds like what you need to have. I continuously spoke calmly and did everything I could. I kept trying to get you to go to the hospital. You wouldn't even walk in the front door without starting to threaten me and act violent unless I took you home. We all ended up convincing you to go to get your hand checked out. My pregnant self had pushed you through the hospital in a wheelchair while you screamed degrading comments at me. Yo, what the hell? Yo, man. I walked you to the counter and said you needed your hand checked. They asked if you needed a social worker. I said no, and I started shaking and tears started falling. The lady kept calm and nodded quietly to me, and we were brought up to the inpatient hospital room. You became violent with me. You called me disgusting names, saying racist comments as well as the N-word, and trying to fight the staff. I still tried to love you and speak calmly. I came up to you and you started screaming and kicked your feet into my belly and started shoving me away and screaming awful things. So every time I gotta take a deep breath to calm myself back down because I'm getting like so angry right here reading this. This is upsetting. I said a trigger warning for you guys at the beginning. I needed a trigger warning for myself. I thought I was going to miscarry. It hurt so bad. Jesus, man. I stood up and the social worker hugged me while I bawled my eyes out. Security took over. They made sure I was okay and had me leave. I called to check on you every hour, though I was falling apart. The nurses called me to make sure I was okay, and I'll never forget them. You were then hospitalized for a week. Alessa never gave up on helping me, even if it was checking in. She is not the bad guy you so claimed her to be. Yeah, obviously not. Wow. Throughout that week, I sent encouraging letters and notes. You spam called me from the hospital, and when stable, you were still so ugly to me. You said awful things and gaslighted me until I told them just to bring you home during the court hearing. You were beyond homophobic at the times, yet preaching equality. The things you would say broke my heart. I am bisexual and am not fully out yet. You treated me disgustingly all the time. You would even be homophobic around Alessa and some friends. Jesus, man. You got home from being released again, and it got worse and worse. You became more violent. You were medicated, then stopped taking them when you felt stable. Oh, man. I know so many stories about this kind of thing happening where the person thinks they're stable and stops taking the medicine. Guys, psychiatrists and psychologists, when you're recommended medicine, you're supposed to take it. Like, I think all of you probably know that already. I never understand why this keeps happening over and over again. When you felt stable because you have always enjoyed feeling powerful. You have said so yourself. I had to call the police in fear when they sent squad cars and EMTs and everything. The second you saw the flashing lights, you acted completely fine and tried telling them I was crazy. They didn't take you away. You continued to force me not to sleep. I'd make food for myself and you'd take it away from me and throw it away? I'd tell you I felt sick. Yeah, oh, man. Yeah, a pregnant woman needs to eat, dude. That's like that can really make them feel super bad if you don't let them have food. Any other guys like getting started on a relationship are listening to this? Like, take this, what I'm reading, as what not to do in any relationship. None of these things should be how you treat a woman, especially a pregnant woman. This is literally like all the worst things someone could do. This is like beyond abuse. This is into torture. This is into like prison time needed, definitely. I really hope she can press some kind of charges. Like, usually I'm not, like with the Emily and Creepshow thing, I thought, kind of silly to get into talking anything legal about that. But with this one, while reading it, I know this, I gotta say it's all allegations, but if even 1/4 of this is true, I'd love to see this guy go to jail for this. This is insane. We were in our green room on the big pink Kirby beanbag. I was trying so hard to shut my eyes for even a moment of sleep. You made me sit up and squeezed me and started screaming at me to break my Totoro bong piece, which was a gift to me. You screamed into my ear as I was begging for you to stop and let go. I was trembling and you started bitching at me. I couldn't do it. You were speaking nonsense. You continued to break shit. You destroyed our home. I couldn't keep up anymore. You were threatening to kill people, our roommate, our friends. You, for some reason, kept bringing up ant venom. What's his deal with ant venom? Yo, I wonder if ant venom's gonna come out and make a video about this. This is like next level insanity. What the hell? And how badly you wanted to kill him? Yo, what? You were fully in psychosis at this point. You were willing to genuinely murder people. I had dozens of voice recordings of these threats, but you screamed at me and threatened me to delete them when you found out. The police were informed of these recordings. You did this to Alyssa as well. I begged your mom to call the police because I was getting afraid you would hurt me after the threats you made, and you walking around with knives, screaming and waving them around. You kept getting in my face. A police officer called me and I froze. He said to act like somebody I knew was calling and start walking towards the front door. He instructed me to stay on the line until the officers on the scene had eyes on me outside. I walked out and the officer ended the call once it confirmed I was safe. You came out after me, then soon saw the officers and tried to pretend like everything is fine and as if you were just cleaning. There was food, trash, and household items absolutely everywhere. You got in my face with a knife before they arrived, screaming how you wanted to kill our roommate, then went and slashed his mattress. They saw my pregnant belly and they immediately were not having it. You kicked over a box of diapers and one officer had me move behind her. I started backing up. Read police reports for more details. So there's actually police reports to back this up. So, I mean, I'm saying allegedly to like keep my video up, but I mean, if there's already police reports, this dude's guilty. There's no question. Holy hell, man. Let me keep going here. You were hospitalized again for a few weeks. More spam calls to me, more harassment, more threats to get what you want. And so I'd let you get out of the hospital. I was falling apart. I wanted to die so badly. Okay, it says trigger warning here, so maybe this gets pretty dark. You had me on the phone while you were in the hospital and you were bringing up the recordings. I was bawling, saying, "You make me want to die." I had a knife to my left arm and marked it before I could take a deep breath and told myself I can do this. I told myself I am going to be a mom. I told myself I am a fantastic mother and I will live for her. It was the first time in almost 6 years I've harmed myself. You near broke me. You didn't care that I tried to end my life. You laughed it off. You even blamed me for the love of my life's suicide that took place in 2016. Yo, this poor girl. What? This dude put her through hell and back. You know how sensitive I am about that boy. I loved and still love him. I begged for him to come save me. When I had a moment of sleep, he was the first face to greet me again. And I took that as I got you, it's going to be okay. I ran into him in the dream. You manipulated me into having them release you again. It continued to get worse, and you were too far gone. I couldn't keep you on meds. The woman who was supposed to be my best friend, the girl I loved so very dearly like a sister, used to get me to get you. You let it happen. I warned you from the beginning. I felt like she was trying to get you and you brushed it off. Oh, okay. So she's talking about the fact that he slept with her best friend who was like a sister to her, which, holy crap, man. You flirted with her in front of me. You threatened to end your life many times if I didn't listen to you or do what you wanted. Even when stable, you make these threats. That girl was a witness to the awful pain you inflicted on me, yet now she's dating you, so I can't ask her to speak for me to prove this. I tried so hard to love everyone. I did so much. I fought so hard. Even Alessa reassured me I was doing my best. Lots of people did. I called our friends, who are family to me. I called my best friend in the other state. I called Alessa. I called your mom. I kept trying to sleep. I tried locking myself in the room, but you just bang on the doors to get to me. You ended up screaming at me to leave, but I was drowsy and tired. I couldn't take it anymore. You ran up to the bed and grabbed my arm, and I was laying on my pregnancy pillow to help with support for my big belly. You took my arm and yanked me up so hard to get me out of bed. I felt like tearing in the inside of my stomach. Then you dropped me to the floor after I was screaming in pain and crying. Then you ran out of the room. I cried to my friend. I was so scared. I kept telling myself, she's here. She cares about me. I'm gonna be okay. You kept keeping me awake and from eating. You purposely blew all your money, and we were broke, nearly $7,000 in the negative, in debt. What? You spent all I had left on candy, drugs, and things I couldn't eat. I ended up screaming. I want my mom. I am a full-grown adult. Then I screamed, please help me, when you would throw things at me and hurt my dogs. I took care of Albert. I raised him. You just took credit. I stopped doing what you said. I was falling more and more apart. I was about to faint from crying so much while you stood at the door, calling me vulgar and awful things. Hey guys, just input real quick. Someone started vacuuming in our apartment hallway, and another person just started doing work on their balcony. So I've got a lot of background noise. Sorry if any of it picks up. I'm just going to keep going here. I got to get this out. All right. Calling me vulgar things. Vulgar and awful things. You told me to call my dad around 1:30 a.m., so I did. He immediately answered, and I was hysterical. I was struggling to breathe. I could hear him jumping out of his bed in his Colorado home. I'm on my way, he said. By 2 a.m., he was on the road to get my whole family to come save me. He didn't stop driving. You were texting everyone to get a jump on trying to make me look bad. I tried saying goodbye to you after my family made it and we all loaded my stuff. You looked at me and walked away. My family left in the car and I started screaming, Albert, my pig. I didn't grab Albert. I was heartbroken. Then I started begging for you. Sorry, this is so hard to read this at the same time. For you? Why? I don't know. I was giving myself false hope, trying to pretend nothing happened. I was too afraid to turn around because I was in severe shock. I had your mom go pick up Albert, and Alessa made sure he was safe. So much harassment after I left. Me trying to send you loving texts, trying to still be kind. Why? False hope. I was tired. You would call me over and over, still wouldn't let me sleep. I gave birth far away from you 2 months later, and am so thankful I did. The labor and delivery unit was going to send the whole hospital into lockdown if you were to show up. Your whole family agreed with my decision. They told me so many times God dang it. This is so annoying the way this is set up. They told me so many times I had my beautiful girl. She's so perfect. I showed you. I keep trying to act like everything is fine. I wanted us to work so bad. I kept telling you how to make it where you could be around her. I didn't feel safe whatsoever with you around unmedicated. You scared me. The harassment never stopped. I continued to try and pretend. I'd tell myself, he'll be okay. You were so mean to me. Threatened to take away my child. She would be dead if I was still there. Come June, I couldn't take the harassment anymore. You made me lie to your fans when I became public throughout this whole mess. You faked suicide several times. You were never going to. I kept calling you and yelling that you needed to tell your fans that you were fine. No, you needed to stop telling your fans that you are fine and stop lying about you being dead. You would laugh and say word for word, but it's funny, and would say ha 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 memes. Wow, really respectful to your fans there, bud. I felt like I failed all your fans by not saving you. You kept telling me no one is going to believe you. They like me, not you. People didn't believe Alessa, and they aren't going to believe you. And I'm SDM, of course. I'm not sure what that means. I'm SDM, of course. People will believe anything I say. Oh, man, what does that mean? I'm so damn something. I just like to meme. I felt like I failed everyone. After I finally blocked all your numbers and all your socials, I felt free, but I also felt so lost. Did I not do enough? I'd ask myself constantly. I was too scared to tell the police the truth. I was scared to talk in front of you. I wish I would have spoken up. I was afraid to speak up online because last time I did, I got a few death threats and awfully mean DMs on Twitter. I kept telling myself to keep quiet. Why? Because aside from all the mean DMs, I got a lot saying how much they loved you, how much you inspired them, and the mom in me was too afraid to ever ruin that for them. I didn't want to fail everyone by speaking up. I beat myself up with, no one cares, no one is going to listen. I felt like no one would ever stand with me. And that's okay, I understand that's someone to protect you. I don't hate your fans, I never will. I know you will get hate again, saying, he's sick, just leave him alone. That's the thing, you know. You know what you're doing and always have. You never care unless it fires back in your face. I want him to get better. I want you to heal, but I don't want you hurting anyone else. I don't want followers. I just want everyone to listen. I want all this to stop. I don't want to fail anyone. I just want to be that voice that was taken away from so many. Oh, okay. To be the voice that you silenced. They deserve to know who you really are before you trap somebody else and make them ask, am I not good enough? And it says, my first statement ends. I am bringing all this evidence in my statement together in one file so it doesn't have to create a huge mess. Warning, sensitive topics ahead. Okay, so maybe another trigger warning. I know mental health is a sensitive subject. I did my best. I followed training I had from when I worked with kids. I followed hospital advice. I did what my heart wanted me to try. I feel like I failed everyone for not staying, but I had to save myself and my child. I love him. If other victims and witnesses choose to come forward, do not harass or bully them. Just listen. We just want to be heard. I am hope. I think they want to say, I hope you guys don't hate me for coming forward. If the other individuals are comfortable to speak up, I'll stand with them. I feel sick putting this together. I rewrote it many times. I deleted it and wrote it again. I tried pretending everything was fine. Kept telling him how much I love him and miss him. Thinking, what if that magically makes this pain go away? I don't want to disappoint anybody. I am sorry to add negativity to y'all's timelines. It's just tearing me apart so much. I wish I could say, but I can't unless those people come forward themselves. Domestic violence is very real. Yes, it is. Faking personalities for attention is very real. Yeah, especially on YouTube. I think that's like YouTube in a nutshell. I also blocked out any info that would leak Adam's address, a place I used to live at. I do not wish for him to be stalked at his private home. Again, I have my last name yellowed out to keep my family private and protect my daughter's identity. Adam's full name has been public for many years, which is why I didn't bother covering. I won't share some more graphic things because most of this should be enough. I know you all say you should just have left. Anybody who says you should have just left doesn't know what real abuse is or what a real abusive relationship is. It's not a situation of you should have just left. That's either somebody very immature or somebody with not a lot of life experience saying that. I know you all I know y'all will say you should have just left or try to call me an attention seeker again. I just want to be heard. I'm tired of feeling like I can't defend myself. The police provided me with private access to these files, and I'll forever be thankful for the help and support they provide me. This is one of several videos he took of me degrading me and saying awful things. This one specifically is me falling apart, him trying to make me look bad. He wanted the last $200 I scrambled together, and all I had left so he could buy weed and candy, and I was hungry. I can't... Oh my god, dude, this sucks. Okay, I can't share this on YouTube for, reasons I'm sure all of you understand. But I can tell you right now, the video is legit. I'm looking literally at the screen of her cowering on the bed and like her pet's trying to comfort her while obviously someone is accosting her with like verbal abuse. This is not cool at all. This is the tweet I am speaking of when I mentioned him faking suicide and laughing to me about it after I left. I was trying to tell your fans everything was fine. You were ugly to everyone helping you IRL. Nothing was fine. I just didn't want to tell all of you. I'm sorry if I'm disappointing you. Okay, so it's a tweet. It says, don't cry or feel bad for me for what may happen next. It was planned. I love you. And then people are writing to him, please don't do anything, Adam. We love you so much. Please don't. Please get help. I've lost people themselves, and it's not how you think it is. All it causes is other people to feel the way you are. It's not ever worth it. Please reach out and get help. Does this go down any further? I can't see the full message. Maybe I downloaded a text version, so maybe the text version doesn't allow me to actually go to it in the middle of this, and I'm just afraid if I click on it right now, I'm going to lose my place on this document. It's already very hard to keep my place on. He threatens suicide to make people look and feel bad. He has been the type of person to threaten his life, to try and take revenge on innocent people for not doing what he wants. I do not wish for him to die. I want him to own up to his actions. This is the bags of candy and drinks I couldn't have that he used knowing I needed something to eat. Sleep deprivation and not eating enough food while pregnant is not safe. Yeah, she's 100% correct. This is definitely true. I know I should have left sooner. I'm sorry. You don't need to apologize. You're the person in the abuse. The candy and the... Okay, so I'm looking down at this. These are the bags of candy and drinks. I'm looking at a lot of Kirkland stuff, which means it's from Costco, so it's like mass packs of candy. I'm not totally sure what I'm looking at. Let me see. Oh, I see. There's multiple pictures here. Oh, okay. Yeah. I see the drinks and stuff in the back corner. Okay. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, at least she took some evidence, though. This is some of the baby stuff I picked out. I picked out everything on my own. He funded some of it because he was too lazy to actually help. He just took credit. This is the very small closet he wanted the baby to live and sleep in? What? Okay, I think I can add this to the actual video. That is that's like a walk-in closet. I don't know why you would put a baby in there. in that big ass house together. The crib alone would have taken up 90% of the closet. Yeah, actually, that's pretty believable. Guys, this is not a place for a baby. Like, there's not even a window, or, I mean, maybe there's a light in there. I can't even see it, though. Oh my God. Like, if this is serious, like, I mean, we're bordering, like, on child abuse stuff here and things. This is really bad, guys. I use the zoom out setting on my phone, which is why it looks bigger than it really is. This looks even bigger. To me, this looks super tiny. Here are some texts from when I left with dates. My dad deletes old texts, so the one he got from Adam shit-talking me are gone. There is also an individual who has an active restraining order on Adam. Hopefully all other victims and people can speak up and show him he needs to get permanent help and become a better person overall. Here's a screenshot of him trying to make people think I'm homophobic, even though I'm bisexual. Okay, so, okay, it's a mixture of text and audio files. Maybe I'll go over these in like a separate video because I don't want to suddenly click away and start playing alternate files while I'm trying to finish reading this, or I'll lose my place. Let's reserve this for a future video, but just note she has proof here, okay? Thankful to the person who sent me those recordings. That person could tell something was not right and stood up for me. I will forever consider that person family. Lastly, I am a badass mother. I give my daughter a fantastic life. I will not let this man try and take fatherly duties when he has none. He has no custody for a reason. Yeah, I mean, if he has no custody, like if he has like zero custody rights, that tends to mean something's up. Not always, guys. Like I have some empathy for some guys out there who've been, literally almost had their kids stolen. But in this situation, it's not looking like that. You know what I mean? He wouldn't even pay child support. Can't you go to jail for that? Then went and flew to see his GF's kids instead of supporting his own. I know change isn't easy, and he's had his chances. I'm just tired of seeing people get hurt from his actions. He needs to change. I am getting help. I am thriving here. Don't worry about my safety or health. I am and will be okay. I love all of you regardless of whose side you are with. Mental health is not an excuse to abuse in any ways, shape, or form. Yeah, that is definitely true, guys. Listen to her on that one. I also want to point out, I know Adam came out as non-binary, but he is by far one of the most judgmental and homophobic people I have ever met. Yeah, I heard both of these, so I didn't know really what to go with. Some people said he goes by they, them, but then also other people said he's homophobic. So, if he comes out and proves all this wrong, I'll start to respect that. But for now, if he's not going to respect them and the people, when I say them, I mean the people in his life and his ex and stuff like that, I don't really feel like I need to go overboard with remembering to say that all the time. He disrespected the LGBTQ plus community and disrespected POC. Wow, really? I do not begging for money. I am not begging for money from anyone. I have a job now. I just hope y'all will listen. I provide all of this info as proof, so hopefully some will hear me out and hear the voice that was silenced for too long. As for Adam, I hope you own up to your actions and become someone better and safer. Stop lying and manipulating those around you. I will put the rest of my photo evidence below. Thank you for your time. I hope some of you stand with me or hear me at least. I'm so sorry if I ruined anything for any of your fans. I'm sorry if I have disappointed you by failing to help Adam. I did so much that's not even pictured here. Okay, I'll try to include some of the stuff. I think I need to make a separate video just for all the pictures and stuff that are included. I think probably more stuff's going to also come out as well. Guys, this is a pretty heavy one to take on. I honestly didn't expect this document to reveal such horrible stuff. Some people told me this was a Me Too document. Guys, this is way more. This is getting into like crimes far beyond Me Too. This is mental abuse, physical abuse, animal abuse, child abuse. Um, almost held against their will. Psychological and physical abuse. Slander. How many laws did this guy break within this document? It's unbelievable. I barely know how to respond to this. This is so much stuff at one time. I feel like I'm reading off a list of multiple different criminals and their criminal actions. This is one guy who's been hiding a world of torture and abuse, and then when confronted with said abuse and torture and physical and mental suffering that he's put people, animals, children, ex-wives, girlfriends through, he seems to sweep it all under the rug and never ever listen to anybody's advice, even to the point that doctors are telling him what medications to stay on. He's being wheeled to the ER having a complete conniption fit, and that isn't even beginning to give him a wake-up call. I don't know how old Sky is at this point. Skydoesminecraft or Skydoeseverything or internet nobody, whatever you want to call Adam at this point. But I mean, this is a grown man who's been in 2 marriages now, had 2 kids, and is long past the time to wake up and grow up. After you have a kid, their life becomes your life. You are not the most important person in your life anymore. Your kid is. And that's where the focus should be. For me, it's my family, and I can't even begin to imagine treating a woman this way. I'm really left without words. I mean, I don't think words can clearly define how disgusted I am right now with this situation. If all of this is true, or even a bit of this is true, and I'm leaning more towards true because there is a lot of evidence to back this up, and if police reports come out too on top of it, guys, then there's no denying it, okay? This guy needs to be locked up. I mean, this guy needs to be locked up. This guy needs to be given extreme radical mental help. And I really don't know if a person like this would be ready to join society again anytime soon until they can wake up and realize what they're doing to the people around them. I mean, this is intolerable. This poor girl. I mean, that's what my mind keeps going back to. She keeps apologizing through this. Sweetheart, you went through hell. I can't believe you came out the other side and you're doing this well. No one should have to be apologized to from you. No, if any fans harass you, if any of his viewers harass you, then they don't have an ounce of empathy in their body. I don't know how... I don't know how she's doing as well as she is after going through something like this. I mean, this is literally something people end up with PTSD from, what this poor girl has been through. And I keep saying girl, sorry, in my mind, I just feel like he's taken out his abuse on somebody who didn't have as much power, quote unquote, on YouTube as him, and his fans backing him up and his money backing him up. And just recently, the most pathetic and part that makes me the most angry is I just listened to a couple commentary channels, I should say, rant about how he had been hitting up Twitter and I don't know, some other place I forget online for a bunch of money because he's like seriously in a ton of debt. And like that's what he's focused on right now, is trying to get all his stuff paid off because he's like swamped with debt. So that part she wrote about him being $7,000 in debt is most definitely true. So this guy's more obsessed with more money, probably to buy more drugs and I guess what, candy? freaking candy. Talk about not growing up, spending your full budget on candy and drugs. This guy's obsessed with getting that stuff and not doing a single damn thing to get his life straight. Meanwhile, he's literally playing video games online for a bunch of little kids. A little kid's video. I love Minecraft. I play it with my kids. I love it. It's a super fun game. But there's a time where you need to turn Minecraft off and start living like an adult and taking care of your family and your life and your mental health. And this guy is not doing any of that. He's refusing to grow up. Well, maybe some time in jail will help him mature a little quicker. I don't... Guys, I'll come back with another video with more evidence videos, sound clips, pictures, because a lot of those were included in this. And I feel like it's good to separate those two things after I just read through over an hour of script. You probably don't want to listen to another hour of videos and voice logs and all that stuff. So I'll save that for another video. But I need to hear what you guys think down below, because this just came out of left field. I did not see things getting this bad. I knew in the past Skydoesminecraft had some issues going on, all right? And I thought, we've all got baggage. People have had throwdowns with their exes and their spouses in the past. I'm not going to judge too harshly. But now I am. This exposed I am. I am going to judge, and I am going to say this is just completely off a cliff of insanity. It's just diving into a world of absolute insanity. I don't know. I got to stop myself. I'm just rambling and babbling now. I'm really at a loss for words. I've never been so at a loss for words, and I need your comments below. I need your input below. I really need to talk to you guys about this one, because this one is just blowing my mind. This one is just, I can't believe how dark this one got. And if this helps get the word out about what this girl went through, then all the better. The best wishes to her on getting back on her feet. Best wishes to Skydoesminecraft's ex, Alessa. I mean, holy cow. How has she stayed so strong through all this and been able to, keep everything in? Yeah, she is really brave to have spoken up. I'm glad we got her voice heard. I'm glad I did this on my channel, no matter how hard this was to go through and read. And I hope she finally gets the care and the love and the respect that she deserves. And I hope, let's just say I hope Skydoesminecraft gets what he deserves. I hope he gets what's coming to him. Let's put it as nice as I can that way. And I will talk to you again real soon. I've been the Inksmith. Try to have a great rest of the day.